Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to talk about top 10 benefits of reading. So before starting this video, please like this video, and subscribe to this channel for our future updates. When was the last time you read a book or a substantial magazine article? Do your daily reading habits center around tweets, Facebook updates, or the directions on your instant oatmeal packet? If you're one of the countless people who don't make a habit of reading regularly, you might be missing out. If you're pressed for time, devote a few minutes daily to a blog on a niche topic. If you're looking for an escape, fantasy or historical fiction can transport you out of your own surroundings and into another world. If you're on a career fast track, read non-fiction advice offered by someone who's already arrived. Consider it a mentorship you can pick up and put down when it suits your schedule. If you happen to live in an area that doesn't have a local library, or if you're mobility impaired and can't get to one easily, most libraries have their books available in PDF or EPUB format, so you can read them on your e-reader, iPad, or your computer screen. There are also many sources online where you can download free ebooks, so go hunting for something new to read. There's a reading genre for every literate person on the planet, and whether your tastes lie in classical literature, poetry, fashion magazines, biographies, religious texts, young adult books, self-help guides, street lit, or romance novels, there's something out there to capture your curiosity and imagination. Step away from your computer for a little while, crack open a book, and replenish your soul for a little while. In the 11th century, a Japanese woman known as Murasaki Shikibu wrote The Tale of Genji, a 54-chapter story of courtly seduction believed to be the world's first novel. Nearly 2,000 years later, people the world over are still engrossed by novels, even in an era where stories appear on handheld screens and disappear 24 hours later. What exactly do human beings get from reading books? Is it just a matter of pleasure, or are there benefits beyond enjoyment? The scientific answer is a resounding yes. Reading books benefits both your physical and mental health, and those benefits can last a lifetime. They begin in early childhood and continue through the senior years. Here's a brief explanation of how reading books can change your brain and your body for the better. Number 10. Mental stimulation. Studies have shown that staying mentally stimulated can slow the progress of, or possibly even prevent, Alzheimer's and dementia, since keeping your brain active and engaged prevents it from losing power. Just like any other muscle in the body, the brain requires exercise to keep it strong and healthy, so the phrase "use it or lose it" is particularly apt when it comes to your mind. Doing puzzles and playing games such as chess have also been found to be helpful with cognitive stimulation. A long-term health and retirement study, trusted source, followed a cohort of 3,635 adult participants for a period of 12 years, finding that those who read books survived around 2 years longer than those who either didn't read or who read magazines and other forms of media. The study also concluded that people who read more than 3.5 hours every week were 23% likely to live longer than those who didn't read at all. Studies have shown repeatedly that people who read print books score higher on comprehension tests and remember more of what they read than people who read the same material in a digital form. Number 9. Stress reduction. No matter how much stress you have at work, in your relationships, or countless other issues faced in daily life, it all just slips away when you lose yourself in a great story. A well-written novel can transport you to other realms, while an engaging article will distract you and keep you in the present moment, letting tensions drain away and allowing. In 2009, a group of researchers measured the effects of yoga, humor, and reading on the stress levels of students in demanding health science programs in the United States. The study found that 30 minutes of reading lowered blood pressure, heart rate, and feelings of psychological distress just as effectively as yoga and humor did. The authors concluded, since time constraints are one of the most frequently cited reasons for high stress levels reported by health science students, 30 minutes of one of these techniques can be easily incorporated into their schedule without diverting a large amount of time from their studies. Number 8. Knowledge. Everything you read fills your head with new bits of information, and you never know when it might come in handy. The more knowledge you have, the better equipped you are to tackle any challenge you'll ever face. Additionally, here's a bit of food for thought. Should you ever find yourself in dire circumstances, remember that although you might lose everything else, your job, your possessions, your money, even your health, knowledge can never be taken from you. Number 7. Vocabulary expansion. This goes with the above topic. The more you read, the more words you gain exposure to, and they'll inevitably make their way into your everyday vocabulary. Being articulate and well-spoken is of great help in any profession, and knowing that you can speak to higher-ups with self-confidence can be an enormous boost. Your self-esteem. It could even aid in your career, as those who are well-read, well-spoken and knowledgeable on a variety of topics tend to get promotions more quickly and more often than those with smaller vocabularies and lack of awareness of literature, scientific breakthroughs and global events. Reading researchers as far back as the 1960s have discussed what's known as the Matthew effect. Trusted source, a term that refers to biblical verse Matthew chapter 13 verse 12, whoever has will be given more and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. The Matthew effect sums up the idea that the rich get richer, and the poor get poorer concept that applies as much to vocabulary as it does to money. Researchers have found trusted source that students who read books regularly, beginning at a young age, gradually develop large vocabularies. And vocabulary size can influence many areas of your life, from scores on standardized tests to college admissions and job opportunities. 2019 poll conducted by Cengage showed that 69% of employers are looking to hire people with soft skills, like the ability to communicate effectively. Reading books is the best way to increase your exposure to new words learned in context. Reading books is also vital for learning new languages, as non-native speakers gain exposure to words used in context, which will ameliorate their speaking and writing fluency. Number 6. Memory improvement. When you read a book, you have to remember an assortment of characters, their backgrounds, ambitions, history and nuances, as well as the various arcs and subplots that weave their way through every story. That's a fair bit to remember, but brains are marvelous things, and can remember these things with relative ease. Amazingly enough, every new memory you create forges new synapses, brain pathways, and strengthens existing ones, which assists in short-term memory recall as well as stabilizing moods. How cool is that? If you want to learn more about how to increase brain power, boost memory and become 10x smarter, check out this technique. Number 5. Stronger analytical thinking skills. Have you ever read an amazing mystery novel, and solved the mystery yourself before finishing the book? If so, you were able to put critical and analytical thinking to work, by taking note of all the details provided, and sorting them out to determine who done it. That same ability to analyze details also comes in handy when it comes to critiquing the plot, determining whether it was a well-written piece, if the characters were properly developed, if the storyline ran smoothly, etc. Should you ever have an opportunity to discuss the book with others, you'll be able to state your opinions clearly, as you've taken the time to consider all the aspects involved. Number 4. Improved focus and concentration. In our internet-crazed world, attention is drawn in a million different directions at once as we multitask through every day. In a single 5-minute span, the average person will divide their time between working on a task, checking email, chatting with a couple of people via GCHAT, Skype, etc., keeping an eye on Twitter, monitoring their smartphone and interacting with co-workers. This type of ADD-like behavior causes stress levels to rise and lowers our productivity. When you read a book, all of your attention is focused on the story, the rest of the world just falls away and you can immerse yourself in every fine detail you're absorbing. Try reading for 15 to 20 minutes before work, i.e. on your morning commute if you take public transit, and you'll be surprised at how much more focused you are once you get to the office. Additional information: if you find staying focused hard, and retrying to improve your focus, you may have been doing it wrong. Number 3. Better writing skills. This goes hand in hand with the expansion of your vocabulary. Exposure to published well-written work has a noted effect on one's writing, as observing the cadence, fluidity and writing styles of other authors will invariably influence your work. In the same way that musicians influence one another, and painters to use techniques established by previous masters, so do writers learn how to craft prose by reading the works of others. Number 2. Tranquility. In addition to the relaxation that accompanies reading a good book, it's possible that the subject you read about can bring about immense inner peace and tranquility. Reading spiritual texts can lower blood pressure and bring about an immense sense of calm, while reading self-help books has been shown to help people suffering from certain mood disorders and mild mental illnesses. Number 1. Free entertainment. Though many of us like to buy books so we can annotate them and dog-ear pages for future reference, they can be quite pricey. For low-budget entertainment, you can visit your local library and bask in the glory of the countless tomes available there for free. Libraries have books on every subject imaginable, and since they rotate their stock and constantly get new books, you'll never run out of reading materials. It's especially important for children to read as much as possible because the effects of reading are cumulative. However, it's never too late to begin taking advantage of the many physical and psychological benefits waiting for you in the pages of a good book. What do you think of our list? Which of the reading facts were unknown to you? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.